All right, New York open on Friday. So just getting ready here to map out the opening range, mark that out. And today the opening range was only 20 points. The past couple days it's been 40 points. Oftentimes when it's a smaller range like that, I've noticed that it does then lead to smaller moves and sort of more of a range day. So at this point, I was looking for my C trades because those play into like leaving the opening range and then coming back into it. So I wasn't expecting any of my A setups. I wasn't expecting really big moves on this. So here, now we've left the opening range. Not finally, it's been a few minutes. So at this point now I am thinking, okay, this could turn into my C short. So measuring it out, it's within the 5 points of the opening range high. So just waiting for the candles to close. Put my stop sell on. It just missed my stop sell, so I marketed in. I think this one was about a 12-point stop, and it got stopped out before I could even calculate my TP and move it. I'm not horrible at math. I'm pretty good at math, but this 1.5 risk and like quickly calculating it just seems to be taking me forever. So right here now I'm looking at this one and I'm going, okay, this is actually another C short, the bar that stopped me out. So I'm waiting, and then I put on the stop sell on this one. This one had about a 20-point stop, 30-point TP. So I'm triggered into the trade there. And I'm watching it. I'm not supposed to be watching, but it seems like when I broke one rule already, then I feel free to kind of break more. So I'm just watching. Price gets to the bottom of the range. I wasn't confident in the 1.5 target on this one. I was thinking more 1-to-1 just because the range was so small. So now it's got 1-to-1 already. Watching. It doesn't quite get to 1.5, so I just TP there. And that was about a 23-point win for me. But now the C strategy is actually setting up again right here on the bar that I took profit on. So once it crossed there, now that would be a C long for me. So I would have got in just above that bear bar that crossed the opening range low. So this one, I believe it was a 19-point stop on that one. So the target would have been, I think, 27, 28 points on it. So it breaks the range. And then at that point I mark out just because I'm watching just to see where it goes. So it got 1-to-1. Now I move it up. That's where 1.5 would be. So just watching. I'm not taking any more trades today. I've decided at this point already I'm up $120 or whatever, and I'm happy with that. So it got 1.5. Now I move it up to see if it's going to get 2-to-1. And honestly, it was really nice to be finished on a Friday, like within the first sort of 20 minutes of the session, and not be turning it into a long, stressful day for myself when it doesn't need to be. So I've watched a lot of Al Brooks. I actually have his trading course, and I really liked how he always marked up his charts afterwards. He would put way more entries on his charts than I would, and he used a 5-minute. I use a 1-minute. But yeah, so I like to mark up the chart afterwards and kind of look for what would have been my best setup of the day within the first sort of like hour and a half of the session, because I should never be trading past 10 o'clock my time. So past an hour and a half. So today there was that first trade I took, which was the C short. It was my setup, wasn't great. It failed quickly. And then I took it again. That one actually didn't quite meet my criteria because it didn't trigger on the bar immediately after the signal bar. So I probably shouldn't have taken that one. I just didn't get it off in time. And then I went, okay, this looks good enough. Kept it on. It won. I think the best trade of the day for sure, well, not I think, I know, the best trade of the day would have been that C long after it broke the bottom of the range and then came up. So that one had the 19-point stop. And I think, I don't know if it was beyond this, but it went on to get like 3 or 4-to-1. So that would have been a great trade. Unfortunately, that's not the one that I took. I did win, so I'm good with today's outcome, and I'm happy to be done early on a Friday because I've had the last, I want to say like 5 Fridays have been pretty rough for me. So I'll take this one. End of the week, so I thought it would be a good day to review my week and see how I did. Monday, I missed my trade. I just didn't get my stop order in time, and it went without me, and I didn't mark it in. So no trade on Monday. Tuesday, I broke my rules. Wednesday, I broke my rules. Thursday, I broke my rules. Today, I broke my rules. So I didn't have any successful days this week on just taking one trade, shutting it down, and leaving it there for the day. But I did actually have a pretty decent week. I think what am I up about $500 on the week, which realistically, if I could even just maintain that, I'd be perfectly happy with that. I'm in Canada, so that's close to $700 a week, and that would actually make a pretty big difference in my finances. So it's not nothing. I'm not upset with how the week went. I don't love my discipline, but I still took valid trade setups and I didn't get crazy. I didn't have any huge losing days. Yeah, so those are my stats for the week. I think they look pretty decent. I guess the problem is 14 trades for the week when I'm only supposed to have 5. So work on that next week. Uh, at least my largest winning trade was a little bit bigger than my largest losing trade. My average loser was a little bit bigger than my average winner, so I don't like that. Hold time on the winners was longer than the losers. So it looks pretty good. My take profit trader eval is at, I think, about $670, somewhere around there, and the target's $1,500. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good on that, and I'll just come back next week and work on the discipline. If you liked the video, give me a like, subscribe, and I would love it if you would join me on a discipline challenge in your trading, whether it's the same one as me or you need something else to focus on in your discipline and improving your trading. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. All right, we'll see you on Monday.